Namaste, beautiful yogis. Today we're having a quick chat together on the subject of overexercising and overtraining. It is a very important subject in the fitness communities, even yoga communities, amongst young girls. So I have another video on the subject, but I wanted to touch base with you and just kind of give you a little bit of common sense advice about over-exercising. Now, I've developed interval yoga in a very particular way, with a particular reason. I've developed it in order to heal my own adrenal fatigue and thyroid issues and other things that I had during that period of time due to mold exposure, and it worked beautifully. And I'm offering you those tools, but at the same time I can see that a lot of you are still overtraining, over-exercising, and I feel that I should every so often remind you to step back and go back to common sense. Always use your common sense, always use your intuition when it comes to training. Now, if you're overtraining, you are going to know it, even though you may not realize it. You will know it if you're just paying attention to your body and just being mindful and aware. Overtraining will make you feel, first of all, that like something is kind of off. You're gonna know that something is off, something is not okay. You may feel overexhausted, have sleeping disturbances. You may feel very cold because you're running, you're becoming hypothyroid from overtraining. You can have adrenal exhaustion, and the signs of adrenal exhaustion, most of you probably are familiar with them. You will have higher cortisol levels, so stress hormone elevated, either excessive weight loss or maybe weight gain around the mid area. Difficulty losing weight, and just the list goes on, and you will kind of know it because you're not going to be rested and relaxed and calm. You are going to feel kind of anxious, stressed out, sleeping disturbances, kind of feeling off, basically not feeling that sense of well-being that we're all looking for. So the tools that I have offered you, I feel that they're perfect, but you can still overtrain yourself by your own choice. I feel that the best thing you can do in order to train properly, because not training at all is just as bad as overtraining, is to take the classes that I've given you and rotate them. Do a 40-minute interval yoga one day, do a slower vinyasa the next day, do interval training the next day that is just 10 minutes long. Then the next day do again 10-minute or 12 or 15-minute interval training, but don't give it your all. Then maybe one more day of a very low intensity interval training, then a day of rest or like slow cardio, say a very long walk, 2-hour walk to some store and back or something like this, just a very low intensity cardio day, and one day rest, or one day even similar walking and stuff like that. And then again, that to me is a perfect schedule, and you can mix and match it. Your body will tell you. If you wake up sore but you have energy, then you're going to do something that is not very intense, but you're still using your energy. If you wake up with low energy, then you're gonna rest, and so forth. If sometimes your energy is stagnant because you haven't been exercising enough, then you will do an interval training that is just gonna spike up your energy, flush fresh blood into your system, flush you with fresh prana. Always use your common sense. Always use your common sense when it comes to exercise. We live in a society where common sense is not encouraged. It starts with school. You enroll in school, and there you're encouraged to repeat lessons as facts. History is taught to us as facts, and you're supposed to memorize them, never question them, never question their validity, never understand their meaning, but just repeat them, just learn to repeat them as facts. And that basically essentially over time shuts down our right brain. We become just repeating machines, zombies. So from there on, everybody is just thought to think that they don't know anything about their body. It's always we have to get feedback from outside. We always have to go to a class and a teacher tells us how to align our body, where nothing could be further from the truth. The reason why I love what I do, I feel so blessed to do what I do, is because I personally am a person I'm a person who loves to learn through my own experiences, on my own, through using individual thinking. Even if I'm discovering something already discovered, I still want to come to that conclusion on my own, because I want to feel what I'm doing as something that is experiential. So when you have a home practice, you're essentially giving yourself the best possibility of learning to understand your body. If a teacher gives you feedback and you go, oh yeah, I understand that, that's not bad, but you're still not learning to trust your body, to listen to your body, and to feel your body. Now, I have a lot of beginner classes with a lot of focus on alignment. If you have been doing yoga for years and you do some of my beginner classes still, because that's the poses suit you, I do too much focus on alignment in those classes. Once you're not beginner, you should feel the poses more so than keep thinking, am I aligning my knee here? Am I flexing my muscle here? And all of that becomes irrelevant, because you have to shut down that part of your brain and start feeling things, start understanding your body, start feeling your body and flowing with your body, because your body will guide you through the practice in a much more profound way. And the best thing you can do is use my classes as tools to learn more about your body and to develop a better connection with your body. In our society, we're taught that they teach us that we're just those physical bodies, and maybe spiritually we're taught that we have also a spiritual body, and they're kind of separated. There is connection between them, which implies that they're separate, but they're separated to where nothing could be further from the truth. In order for you to advance your spiritual body, you have to start understanding your physical body, and vice versa. You're here in this experience for a reason, because if you were here to just understand your spiritual body, you would never even... If you're here to only understand your spiritual body, you would not need a physical body to understand it. You would just be having a spiritual experience in some other dimension. But since you're here given a physical body, which is not strictly physical, is absolutely interrelated and the same with your spiritual body, you're integrating them and using one to advance the other, and using the other to advance this one. So I'm going on a tangent, but you understand what I'm saying. Just learn to use your own feedback mechanism, learn to use your own intuition, because in our society we're taught that somehow rational thinking is way superior than in intuition. And that is so funny, because I see so many people that think that intelligence comes from logical rational thinking. That is just the first step. You still have to have rational thinking, of course, but that is just your first step. If you don't have any idea about intuition, then you're not even starting on the path of true intelligence. So we're just taking small steps in using physicality to expand our mind and understand our body and expand our spirituality. Maybe that's a new idea to some of you, but that is the fact. Now, as far as overtraining, there is a lot of girls, I would say most girls, that are into yoga and come to training, most young girls in general have been exposed to some level of anorexia, and I almost feel that that's kind of a setup in by society. You're not alone. Most girls have struggled with those issues, because I feel that society is set up that way, where we grow up eating the wrong diet, then we grow up with the wrong images, then we grow up with the wrong connection to self, and from there it becomes such a mess that it has to break out in some way, because we grow up thinking either we are not special or we're super special and we're princesses, and that never will be proven true in real society, in real world. So there is so much contradiction that the psyche has to deal with, and so much self-esteem issues, because we're just not understanding this physical body, we're just not getting it, and that basically ends up manifesting itself in certain either physical disorder, eating disorder, some form of psychological behavior that is considered disordered behavior. I would say it's just a learning curve for a lot of you, as long as you're willing to learn and grow and let go of the hang-ups, the mental hang-ups, you can move forward. Of course, that's not always possible, but for an average person it is. There is very extreme cases where obviously a lot of special attention and special help is needed, but in most cases self-correction, I believe, is possible, and it's obviously the highest route, the best route. So so what I'm trying to basically bring across in this video about overtraining and overexercising, even though it's a big roundabout, is to just trust your body and develop intuition, and keep developing intuition, and not overthink things. Don't overthink poses after a while. When you're a beginner, of course you have to focus on alignment, but you can be a beginner for years and years. Once you understand basic alignment, you have to start being guided by your breath, and feeling the poses, moving through the poses, because your body will tell you how to align much better than just textbook alignment. So start listening to your body. Cut back on exercise if you're suspecting that you're over exercising. Don't abuse your body. Don't beat your body down, because ultimately if you're not getting results, or if you're not feeling good, then there's no point in it. If you're feeling good, then this video obviously is not for you. But if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling tired, and if you have injuries, recurrent injuries, colds, flu, immune system issues, those are all indicators of something going wrong. Of course, it's not just exercising, could be your diet, could be your mental patterns, and so forth, but we're focusing here, and for the purposes of this video, on the exercising portion of it. So if you're doing far too many classes, you're gonna have to mix it up. Don't overcorrect by doing nothing, doing too much and then nothing. Just vary. I consider that one class of 40 minutes, just kind of my classic interval yoga class, once or twice a week is good. One longer class of vinyasa, they're pretty tiring, those classes too. So once a week, a longer vinyasa, stretchy vinyasa is also enough. 2 or 3 interval training classes that I have a lot of them on my channel and on my membership. So many in such variation, and with different focus, and they're all fun. Use them with different level of intensity within your own body. So I would like you to do 1 to 2 classes where you give it almost your all, like 90% or 80%, and then 1 or 2 interval training classes where you're just kind of giving it 50% of your maximum effort. You're just doing them, but you're not pushing too fast, too strong, too hard, and so forth. You are doing them because you are still getting your blood pumping, Your alignment is fine. You're not slacking in alignment. You're just slacking in how much force you push forward. That's my perfect schedule. I've been able to heal myself through a similar schedule. If I feel that a very long vinyasa feels not appropriate for me that week, I would skip that. Of course, you don't have to do everything every week. Vary it. Be very intuitive with your training. I think most of you that are here anyways watching this video, you're already an intuitive person, or you have that capacity because you're already self-guided, you're self-driven, you want to learn, you're autodidactic, you can learn from verbal and visual cues, because you are starting to tune in rather than keep looking for feedback out. And that is your best bet. You're always going to learn more, even with creativity. For me, when I want to create new things and when I want to discover new things within anything in my mind, I have to turn off any knowledge from other people, because that blocks my own knowledge, my own deeper inner knowledge, my own creativity. So whenever I want to create something, I don't look for ideas from other people. I don't get inspiration from other people. I turn everything off. I don't read. I don't watch anything that's in that area of knowledge. I can watch something in a different field, but I just want to turn all kinds of distractions and ideas off. So ideas come from somewhere from here, somewhere from here. So that is my main point here. Intuitive training. That is my main point. Intuitive training, trusting your body, trusting the process of how you live your life, the process of living, how you intuit your life. That is absolutely the best skill you can learn. That's why I consider what I do so. I'm so grateful to be doing what I do, because it's not just exercise, it's just us learning far more about ourselves than just how we exercise. And it's far more than getting a perky butt or strong core or being fit, which are amazing benefits. I have to say that is a must. We have to, the way we have to maintain our soul and spirituality, the same way we have to maintain the body. It's just as spiritual to take care of your body and have a little bit of vanity, not some form of exaggerated crazy vanity, just to have some form of balanced attitude towards your physical looks and your spiritual looks. You have to maintain your spiritual hygiene and your physical hygiene. And in our society, I think I will finish with that. In our society, we are just not in any way encouraged to express ourselves truly. So we're just extremely suppressed. I've learned that through years of teaching, that breathing is one of the most embarrassing things people would do in public. They just don't want to breathe in a loud way, in a way where there is like depth in their breathing. They're just shallow breathers and just very shy about self-expression. And that is because we're not encouraged to be in touch with who we are in society, and you have to find that encouragement within yourself. You have to break out of your societal conditioning and start finding those things within yourself, those permissions within yourself. And even the pseudo-spiritual communities, they don't encourage any form of self-expression other than some form of repressed peacefulness, of passive-aggressive peacefulness. That's what I see in a lot of the spiritual communities. People just do not feel authentic. They just feel very, the common used word is fake, but they just use very repressed, and there is this just kind of passive-aggressive hippie peacefulness. Self-expression is discouraged. Anger is considered a bad emotion. Sadness is considered a bad emotion. You can be hitting pillows in some of those communities though, but there is some form of imbalance of how we are encouraged to express who we are, and there is so much restriction. There is so much restriction of how we are supposed to express ourselves. This is not appropriate, that's not appropriate, most things are not appropriate. You shouldn't express any straightforwardness, any anger, grief, aggression. All those are bad, so bad. You can't do that. So we're just repressing everything. We are only supposed to be mildly happy and polite, and that just creates such an inauthentic society and such inauthentic communication and such inauthentic expression of who we are that most of our emotions get just repressed. And yeah, we go to yoga to just within ourselves express it, but you have to give yourself the permission to understand that most emotions are there for a reason and you're okay moving through them. And I've given myself that permission that if people do not want to accept me with my emotions, we're just not on the same level of understanding life. If for someone, for example, if I'm going to be very straightforward and express myself in a very direct way in conflict, and to someone that's not spiritual, we're not talking the same language, because there is no way I'm gonna correct something that I express very authentically from my core. And if for some that's inappropriate, then we're not communicating on the same level of emotional awareness. So give yourself the permission to be authentic and not apologetic about things that maybe in society are not encouraged. Now, when I say anger, people don't understand that word very well. I don't mean ever in any situation being disrespectful towards any being. I'm meaning having appropriate reaction to things that are directed towards you. So this video is not just about over-exercising. It's really, I should title it something along the lines with developing your intuition and awareness and self-guided growth, something along those lines. But it is a chat video. I woke up early this morning, so here we have a chat video about over-exercising. I gave you a little bit of practical advice of how to line up your workouts. Definitely do not beat your body down. Definitely do not beat your body down. There is absolutely no reason to over-exercise. You will be pretty muscular, pretty lean, in pretty good shape, with very good cardiovascular capacity, with not that much a day. I do love movement though, so even if I exercise a little bit intensely, like say if right now my exercise is completely different, but even now I still vary it. I still add slow cardio or super slow cardio, such as walks and such, and I would do weighted squats and lunges or some yoga 20 minutes a day and so forth. I would just still be very active, but not overactive and not to the point of exertion and exhaustion. That's one of the ways to know that you're over exercising. Once you finish a workout, are you perky? Are you feeling energized, or are you feeling a little drained? Are you exhausted? Did you overdo it? It's pretty. The thing about the over-exercising is very simple. There is not much science. You don't need science, and you don't need like big cues and to read big articles and listen to big videos to know if you're over-exercising. You kind of should know it. How do you feel right after an exercise? That's your cue. Are you in good shape? Are you too hungry, or do you have absolutely no hunger due to how you exercise? All of those things are cues that you are, if you're in balance or out of balance. And when you're out of balance, you and only you have to take yourself back to balance. You can't rely on anyone else. You can't keep asking the same question over and over. People again, how do I do that? Most of the questions people ask, they know the answer for it. So when you ask the question, you generally, oftentimes when you ask me a question, you generally have the answer included within the question. Start honoring your body and implementing those answers that you deep in your soul know are what you need. All right, I can keep going forever, and if you're interested in more videos on the subject of intelligent training, intuitive training, intuitively growing and understanding your body, intuitive fitness, exercising, over-exercising and such subjects, let me know. And we'll chat again very soon. Namaste.